One of my friend's friends is getting married at in Rhode Island on June 13th, 2026. The venue called her and said someone is willing to buy you out of your date. She said, no, I don't want to switch my date. They called her back and said they're willing to pay for her entire wedding and honeymoon to have this date. So they said yes and think it might be Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding prep is officially wilder than a Super Bowl halftime show. First up, the power couple's accused of dropping a jaw-dropping bid to snatch another couple's dream venue. Because why book when you can buy out?
June 13th is the only 13th that falls on a Saturday, and it's near her house in Rhode Island. And obviously 13 is her lucky number.
Then, Louis Capaldi's trying to crash the big day by offering fish from his dad's shop. Yep, cod diplomacy is real.
My dad will supply the fish, Taylor.
Meanwhile, Travis is expanding his empire with a Six Flags investment and a steakhouse so pricey, fans are roasting the prices, not the meat.
Travis. Oh, hello.
But drama's never far. Taylor's reportedly shaken by Travis's college weed scandal. On a lighter note, she's the original intuitive eater before it went viral, and now she's stressing over the wedding guest list like it's her next Grammy ballot. Word on the street is that Taylor and Travis are already knee-deep in wedding plans for 2026, and let's just say their dream venue might have already been someone else's dream first. Yep, the golden couple of pop and football are being accused of trying to swoop in and outbid a regular engaged couple for a jaw-droppingly beautiful Mount Vernon-style estate in Rhode Island. Picture it, ocean views, rolling lawns, and apparently enough scandal to fill a season of Selling Sunset. Insiders say Tay and Trav dropped a 7-figure offer. Yep, 7 figures for this beachfront beauty that was already reserved by a couple who'd locked it down ages ago. The bride and groom-to-be had their deposit, their attorney, their Pinterest boards, the works. Then, suddenly the venue owner gets a call from some mysterious buyers listed only as TS and TK. The new offer wasn't just a match, it came with a fat bonus check. One broker even joked that you don't usually see price wars after a venue's booked. Well, unless the buyers are a Grammy hoarder and a Super Bowl champ. The local gossip mill's been grinding ever since. Some neighbors are calling it a Swiftie invasion. Others are just stocking up on popcorn. Meanwhile, the original couple, let's call them the Wright-Haynes duo, apparently got a not-so-romantic call from the venue owner saying they could either match the offer or lose the date. Match a 7-figure deal? Sure, right after winning the lottery. Unsurprisingly, they bowed out. The venue calendar now reads reserved, private, which might as well say sorry, peasants.
One of my friend's friends is getting married at in Rhode Island on June 13th, 2026. The venue called her and said someone is willing to buy you out of your date. She said, no, I don't want to switch my date. They called her back and said they're willing to pay for her entire wedding and honeymoon to have this date. So they said yes and think it might be Taylor Swift. June 13th is the only 13th that falls on a Saturday, and it's near her house in Rhode Island. And obviously 13 is her lucky number.
And speaking of sorry peasants, apparently one guy who's taking that message in stride is none other than Louis Capaldi, the self-proclaimed king of heartbreak ballads and dad jokes. While the rest of us are debating whether Taylor and Travis just outbid a whole wedding, Capaldi's already plotting his way into theirs. His plan? Forget writing a song or serenading the couple, he's offering up something way fishier. Literally. The man has volunteered his dad's fishmonger business to supply the freshest fish for their wedding feast, because nothing says romance quite like cod and calamari, right? The Scottish singer's apparently dead serious about it too. He joked that if everyone else is volunteering wedding services, with DJs, bakers, and Martha Stewart herself jumping into the mix, he's bringing seafood to the party. KP's Seafood Specialist, run by Capaldi's dad in Bearsden, near Glasgow, is suddenly one connection away from becoming the hottest catering name in celebrity weddings. Move over, Nobu. The Capaldis are coming with haddock on ice.
My dad is a fishmonger. My dad will supply the fish, Taylor. My dad will supply the fish for you.
As much fresh fish as you want.
And the freshest fish, by the way.
Insiders say Capaldi doesn't even expect a front row seat. He's just gunning for what he calls the evening bit. You know, the part where you skip the vows and go straight for the buffet and bad dancing. He figures that's the sweet spot. Minimal commitment, maximum canapes. Honestly, smart move. Who wants to sit through an hour of tearful vows when you could just show up for the cake and champagne?
Oh, I'd love the evening. That, by the way, the evening invite for weddings is the best.
The best.
Just invite me to the evening bit, please, Taylor.
And while Louis Capaldi's offering haddock to crash the wedding, Travis Kelce's busy serving up something way pricier, like check your credit score before ordering expensive. He's clearly decided that if he's not catching footballs or wedding dates, he's catching business deals. Between his shiny new Six Flags investment and a steakhouse that costs more than a semester of college, Kelce's turning into the most entrepreneurial tight end in NFL history. Forget touchdowns, this guy's scoring tax deductions. So here's the scoop. Travis just teamed up with a big-name investment firm to buy into Six Flags Entertainment. Yep, the dude who spends Sundays body-slamming linebackers now owns a piece of your childhood roller coaster nightmares. He says he grew up loving the parks, so this is his way of giving back.
As a kid, I didn't go on any of them. It took me until I got to college, and then after college, that when I went back to Cedar Point, I could finally go on the Millennium Force and the Dragster and all these rides.
Fans are already joking about new rides, Kelce Coaster, the tight end drop, and of course, one themed after Taylor's cruel summer called the Emotional Loop. And honestly, tell me that wouldn't sell out. But while everyone's clapping for his theme park glow-up, his other venture's taking a few hits, and not the football kind. His steakhouse, $15.87 prime, is getting roasted harder than its $345 Wagyu tomahawk. One fan posted their bill and said the dinner cost more than their monthly electric bill. Another said they'd rather tailgate in a parking lot with gas station jerky than drop $16 on mushrooms. Still, people are lining up for reservations like it's the Super Bowl. Maybe it's the menu, maybe it's the chance to say I ate where Taylor did. She and Trav were spotted there recently after a Chiefs win, proving nothing says date night like dining in your own overpriced restaurant. But while Travis is building roller coasters and charging rent money for steaks, it looks like another part of his life is coming back to give him a different kind of roller coaster, the emotional kind. Yep, the internet just unearthed an old skeleton from Kelce's college closet, and apparently Taylor Swift is not thrilled about it. Word is, she's been hit with a serious case of "oh no he didn't" after hearing about Travis's brief brush with trouble from way back in 2010. Turns out, before he was catching Super Bowl passes, Travis was catching consequences, getting suspended from his college football team for failing a drug test. It was weed, not anything wild, but still it was enough to bench him for the Sugar Bowl that year. He's long since owned it, did therapy, got his act together, and became the NFL's favorite tight end/business mogul. But as every Swiftie knows, the past has a nasty habit of resurfacing at the most inconvenient times, kind of like an ex during album season. Insiders say Taylor's not exactly panicking, but she's definitely side-eyeing the headlines. She spent years polishing her image to a diamond shine. No drama, no scandal, just albums, cats, and emotional devastation set to music. So the idea of her fiancé's old stoner semester making the rounds again? Yeah, not ideal PR. One source says she's worried it could mess with her brand, which thrives on fairy tale perfection, not college detours. Apparently she's even been warned about possible travel implications, because nothing says romance like Googling federal re-entry laws over breakfast. Still, people close to the couple insist she's being supportive behind the scenes, reminding everyone that Travis has been clean, focused, and unstoppable ever since. While the internet's busy digging into Travis's past, Taylor's living rent-free in the future, and apparently she's been doing what TikTok now calls intuitive eating since before TikTok even existed. Yup, while everyone's pretending they just discovered listening to your body, Taylor was over a decade ahead of the curve, quietly rejecting diet culture back when hashtags were barely a thing. The gist? Forget calorie counting or those 1,200-calorie what-I-eat-in-a-day videos that make you want to call a therapist. Tay's always been more of a feed-the-vibe kind of gal. Insiders say her food philosophy has stayed the same since her early Nashville days. Salads and yogurt during the week, then burgers, ice cream, and pumpkin spice lattes on the weekend. Balance. It's the kind of approach that makes sense for someone who writes breakup ballads, runs stadium tours, and still manages to look like she sleeps 8 hours a night. Experts call it intuitive eating, but really, it's just common sense dressed up with a nutrition degree. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, don't demonize cookies. Radical, right? This whole thing's now a viral movement, with hundreds of thousands of TikToks of people saying goodbye to diet rules and hello to actual food joy. Meanwhile, Taylor's probably just sipping her latte like welcome to 2010. Nutrition gurus say her approach lines up perfectly with modern wellness thinking. No rigid rules, no good or bad foods, just moderation and self-trust.
I know it's going to be fun to plan because I think the only stressful weddings are the ones where you have a small amount and people are on the bubble.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And you have to evaluate or assess your relationship with them.
Yeah.
To see if they should be there.
Yeah.
And sure, some folks will still confuse hunger with boredom, but Taylor seems to have mastered the art of knowing the difference. She's now tackling something way harder than intuitive eating, the guest list for her wedding. Yep, apparently deciding who gets to sit near the cake and who gets the "we'll celebrate later" text is stressing out Pop's reigning perfectionist more than a surprise Grammy nomination. Word is, she's been flipping through names like she's drafting a fantasy football team, except every pick could cause a tabloid headline. Insiders say she's gone full invite everyone and avoid drama mode. Basically, if you've ever been within a 3-foot radius of Taylor Swift, congratulations, you might just make the cut. She reportedly wants to avoid the post-wedding gossip sessions, where everyone whispers about who didn't get invited. Which, fair. Taylor spent years mastering the art of controlling the narrative. She's not about to let Karen from PR or a bitter ex-collaborator hijack her big day's press cycle. But here's where it gets juicy. Looks like Blake Lively might not make the list. Yup, Hollywood's most photogenic BFF duo might not be swapping friendship bracelets on the dance floor this time. Word is, things got frosty between them thanks to the whole Justin Baldoni drama, and even though they've supposedly patched things up, Tay's still playing it safe. Nothing kills wedding vibes faster than tension over the shrimp cocktails. Sources say she's going big with a destination wedding, which honestly makes sense. Nothing says exclusive like forcing your guests to book a 10-hour flight and pretend they're thrilled about it. Taylor apparently joked that keeping it small would be too stressful, so now she's doing the opposite, inviting half the industry and hoping no one starts a feud by the open bar. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.